Are you a Canadian student looking to apply to U.S. medical schools? Medical schools in Canada are highly competitive, so many Canadian students look south of the border to attend Canadian-friendly U.S. medical schools. Many American schools have great reputations and outstanding educational standards, so it's no wonder they attract applicants from Canada and other parts of the world. In this video, you will learn about the American application process, tuition, funding opportunities, admission requirements, and finally, how to study in the U.S. Hi, my name is Chris and I'm an admissions associate here at BeMo. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe on whatever social media channel you're watching this from now so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. If you would like us to help you with your med school application, click on the link above or below this video to schedule your free initial consultation. As a quick tip, check out the timestamps in the description of this video to navigate to specific sections of the video that you're interested in. Here's a look at what we'll review today. Do all U.S. medical schools accept Canadian students? The application process for AMCAS, AACOMAS, and TMDSAS. Shadowing, and ways to get clinical experience. And don't forget that we're giving away $50 Amazon gift cards every week to the best comments and questions, so comment below for a chance to win. Now let's get started. Canadian citizens looking to attend medical school in the United States must be aware that not all U.S. medical schools accept Canadian and international students. Some schools do not even consider out-of-state applicants. This is due to several factors. Naturally, medical schools are highly competitive. Even though there is a shortage of medical professionals in the US and Canada, there is no shortage of applicants. Although the United States has over 150 medical schools, the competition is not any lesser than in Canadian medical schools, of which there are only 17. Another reason why some US schools do not accept Canadian and international medical students is their desire to support local applicants. States make the application process a bit more difficult and tuition costs a bit higher for external applicants to entice the in-state residents to attend their school. This is a way to support in-state medical development since in-state applicants are more likely to stay and practice medicine in their home state. Most U.S. schools designate 3 categories of students. Number 1, in-state residents. Number 2, out-of-state residents. And number 3, international students. Canadian and international applicants with U.S. permanent residency status are typically regarded as U.S. applicants. Canadian citizens are treated by many schools as out-of-state applicants. These types of medical schools are often called Canadian-friendly. These medical programs have the same admission requirements for Canadians as for out-of-state American students. Most importantly, Canadians do not pay international student fees, but rather out-of-state fees at these schools. Something to consider is that Canadian and international applicants have a higher chance of being admitted to private U.S. medical schools. Public medical schools receive funding from state and federal governments, so they are more eager to spend their money on American applicants rather than qualified foreign nationals. This does not mean that Canadians cannot get accepted to U.S. public schools, but it does mean that to be simply considered, the Canadian students' applications must be better than their American counterparts. The majority of U.S. medical schools participate in the American Medical College Application Service, AMCAS. You can find a list of participating schools on the AMCAS website. This process is quite similar to the Canadian medical school application process, but AMCAS is a unified system. You do not need to send an application to each school separately. AMCAS takes care of all your applications and sends them to the schools you indicate in your application. The general outline of the AMCAS application is as follows. Sections 1 through 3, your background information. In these sections, you will fill out your name, birthday, schools attended, citizenship, ethnicity, race, and more. Section 4, coursework and GPA calculator. In this section, you provide your transcripts and other information regarding your educational background, your courses, grades, credits, foreign coursework, study abroad, and any other information you may have about your educational history. The majority of Canadian schools do not use a 4.0 GPA system. So, if you'd like to see what your grades look like when converted, see the AMCAS Grade Conversion Guide. AMCAS will convert all transcript grades to AMCAS grades based on conversion information provided by your school. This GPA conversion allows for a standard way to compare each applicant's background. BCPM GPA will combine your biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics grades. The rest of your coursework will be calculated as AO, all other, GPA. Note, classes taken in Canadian schools are not considered foreign. Section 5, Work and Activities. A maximum of 15 experiences may be submitted, but you can enter up to 4 occurrences for each experience. Remember, quality trumps quantity. These activities will appear in chronological order to admissions committees, and you cannot rearrange them. You can identify up to 3 experiences that you consider to be the most meaningful. If you have 2 or more experiences, you must identify at least one of them as the most meaningful. Section 6, Letters of Evaluation. In this section, you will indicate who is writing your recommendations, what types of letters will be sent to AMCAS, and which schools should receive each letter. Your letters will be submitted to AMCAS by your referees. You'll be responsible for giving each writer a letter request form that includes your mailing address, AAMC ID, the letter ID, and detailed instructions on how to submit the letter to AMCAS. The letter ID must be included in each letter as it will allow AMCAS to match the letter to the proper name correctly. Section 7, Medical Schools. You will enter the name of all the medical programs to which you're applying, i.e. MD combined programs like the MD PhD programs, combined MD and graduate degrees, etc. Section 8, Essays. You will upload your personal statement here. You are limited to 5,300 characters including spaces. You will be notified if you exceed the available space. When writing your personal statement, remember AAMC's core competencies, which outline the qualities and experiences that successful applicants must demonstrate. Section 9, Standardized Tests. Your MCAT scores will be released here. If you are applying to special programs like MD PhD or MBA MD, you might have to provide your GMAT, LSAT, or GRE scores. You must remember that the schools can see all the times you sat the MCAT, so it's important to get the highest possible score and as few test attempts as possible. If you plan to take the MCAT exam more than once, try to find out if your chosen program will use your highest score or whether they will calculate your MCAT average. Their choice may affect your preparation and study plans. This knowledge will help you prepare for your MCAT and the AMCAS application process. After completing all the sections, you will need to certify and submit your application. Before submitting your AMCAS application, make sure to review it carefully. After you submit, only certain changes can be made. AACOMAS. If you are planning to apply to DO programs, you will need to use the American Association of Colleges of Osteopathic Medicine Application Service, AACOMAS. DO school application process is similar to AMCAS, but of course you will need to emphasize your dedication to osteopathic medicine in your application. Dedicate your time and efforts to extracurriculars that would demonstrate your interest in osteopathic philosophy and practice. For example, get clinical experience with or shadow a DO physician rather than an MD. Although more difficult to do in Canada, working with a DO will make you stand out as an applicant. Furthermore, they can become an invaluable source for your DO medical school recommendation letters because you should really have the support of someone in the field. Just like AMCAS personal statements, DO statements are also limited to 5,300 characters, including spaces. Do not simply resubmit your MD personal statement to AACOMAS. Make sure that your personal statement outlines your commitment and adherence to osteopathic medicine. Take a look at some AACOMAS personal statement examples to get ideas of your own. TMDSAS. The state of Texas has its own application system, the Texas Medical and Dental Schools Application Services, or the TMDSAS. This application procedure is similar to AMCAS. You will be required to provide your personal information education history, undergraduate coursework, extracurricular activities, and essays. TMDSAS requires 2 extra essay components: personal characteristics essay and optional essay, in addition to the personal statement. TMDSAS personal statement is limited to 5,000 characters including spaces, while both TMDSAS personal characteristics essay and optional essay are limited to 2,500 characters each. Perhaps one of the most unique aspects of the TMDSAS system is the residency determination process. First and foremost, the state of Texas aims to support and promote medical sciences within the state. They also want better access to medical education for their own residents. TMDSAS screens and identifies whether an applicant is a Texas resident. This screening process undoubtedly affects the admissions chances for an out-of-state or international applicant. If the TMDSAS system determines that you are a non-Texas resident, you are less likely to be admitted. Shadowing. Aside from having an undergraduate degree, most programs have other requirements. One of the most common U.S. medical school requirements is shadowing a physician. This experience is a great way to help you determine if the medical field is right for you. It's also an excellent opportunity to gain clinical experience to talk about in your applications and interviews if you're invited. Something to remember is that shadowing is not a requirement in Canadian medical schools because shadowing is not easy in Canada. This is due to licensing regulations around letting in students not covered by liability insurance into patient rooms. Once you are in medical school, you have to pay a small fee to cover your insurance premium and are covered by liability insurance. But as a pre-med student, you are not. Typically, for Canadians to shadow a physician, they need to cast a wide net and start looking early. So ask friends, family, doctors you have worked with or volunteered for, or even your own family doctor. Start looking early so you can fulfill the shadowing requirement. If you are applying to DO programs, shadow a DO specifically. There are not so many DO trained physicians in Canada, so to go down this route, you need to plan well in advance so you can conduct a search and find the closest DO physician and be prepared to travel to shadow them. For this reason, a concentrated shadowing block, for example 2 weeks, will be easier than weekly set hours for shadowing. You might be wondering how to ask to shadow a doctor. When you call or email the physician, explain that you are a pre-med student and express your interest in their specialty. Briefly explain your medical experience and your aspirations in the medical field. Arrange a schedule that fits both of your needs and responsibilities. Each program has its own requirements for how many shadowing hours are required for medical school. If you like your experience, it is important to stay with the physician as long as possible. This person will be a likely candidate for writing you a recommendation for medical school. Gaining clinical experience before your medical school application is key. To be a competitive candidate, you must have some exposure to the medical field. Shadowing is a great way to get some passive experience, but you also need some active clinical exposure. This can be done by volunteering at a hospital or a clinic, working in nursing or long-term care homes, or working as a health professional's assistant. Having patient interaction experience is extremely valuable. You can find other ways to experience what it's like to work in the medical field. Some students get pre-med gap year jobs to gain some experience before medical school, while others choose alternate routes, including hospice volunteer. Undoubtedly, the death of a patient is the most devastating and stressful time for a physician. Volunteering in a hospice may help you understand the moral and emotional toll of caring for a dying person. You will also get to see how physicians interact with the person's family and loved ones. You might be able to learn how physicians can provide comfort for patients and their families in the most vulnerable time of their lives. Hospices usually offer support from in-house counselors who can help you process your experiences. Certified Nursing Assistant. Becoming a CNA is a great way to get clinical experience and earn some extra cash. Look for CNA certification programs in your local colleges. Each program has its own schedule and training length. CNAs have flexible working hours, so you will not have to jeopardize your studies and other responsibilities. Volunteer Emergency Medical Technician. This is a great way to get some hands-on experience as an entry-level healthcare provider. You will become aware of the healthcare needs in your community, be exposed to various medical specialties, and learn how to deliver medical help in various environments. Hospice scribes assist on-call physicians with gathering information and making documentation. This experience will demonstrate your verbal and written communication skills, your attention to detail, and your dependability to the admissions committee. Caretaker. Serving as a caretaker can teach you how to provide help to patients facing chronic illnesses, learn about the costs of their medications, medical procedures, and nutrition. You will also learn about the difficulties they face when trying to get the help they need. Aside from clinical experience, the admissions committees want to see your human qualities like empathy, dedication to patients, and ethical responsibility. All these alternate options will not only provide you with experience in the medical field, but also emphasize how medical exposure formed your motivation to become a physician. The students should know that the AAMC expects students to show all the core competencies by the time they start medical school. This is in contrast to Canada, where the CanMeds roles are a good guide, but not really expected of students in full. CanMeds outlines the roles that practicing physicians must perform, not learners. Check out our blog for more grad school tips. I've included links in the description of this video so you can find the blog easily. If you would like us to help you with your med school application, click on the link either above or below this video to schedule your free initial consultation. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. If you have any questions about med school that I didn't cover in this video, let me know in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget that we're giving away $50 Amazon gift cards every week to the best comments and questions, so comment below for a chance to win. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.